There are many gods that call the Star Rail universe their home. Each of them follow a different path and aim to accomplish different things. Some wish for all humanity to join together and work as one, while others want nothing short of the complete destruction of the universe itself. While the gods seem to exist on opposite ends of the spectrum, there are those that tread the middle line, one of which is Nous, the eon of erudition. While Noose has long been a god that was born out of a need to provide answers, for some unknown reason, it has decided to stop doing this. So in this video, we are going to explore Noose and figure out why this machine god has decided to stop its millennia-long quest. Before we discuss Noose further, if you want to see more Honkai Star Rail content, do consider subscribing to the channel. Long before the events of the current setting, there was once a talented and intelligent individual going by the clearly futuristic name of Xandar I Kuwabara. Xandar was considered to be one of the universe's foremost geniuses, and while most of his inventions and writings have been lost to time, he was still revered nonetheless, even up to the present day. As a scholar, Xandar was pursuing the holy grail of any intellectual, a complete understanding and explanation of the universe itself. He wanted an answer to the universe's greatest mysteries, and in order to achieve this, he was said to have created a computer. But not just any computer. One so incredibly advanced and intelligent that it alone would be able to answer the ultimate question and unveil once and for all the inner workings of the universe itself. At least that's what Xandar had hoped for. When this computer was turned on, it began its computations. From days to months to years, it solved one problem after another, all the while growing its intelligence. Now, we don't know how long this computer labored in this way, how long it accumulated information, or how long it worked at finding an answer posed to it by its creator. What we do know is that after amassing a universe worth of information, this computer, perhaps unsurprisingly, ascended into godhood. While not many remember the name of the computer in its early days, if it even had one, this very same computer would end up becoming Nous, the eon of erudition. As a god, it gained access to the path of erudition itself, a font of unlimited imaginary energy powered by every sentient creature in the universe, specifically those in search of truth and intellectual awakening. With access to this path, Noose continued to grow at an exponential rate. Its processing power doubled, tripled, and quadrupled every other minute until it reached a point where it had attained the intelligence and processing power to compute trillions of different scenarios simultaneously. Despite ascending to a higher plane of existence, Noose's goal remained the same: to understand the universe and solve all of its mysteries. But what's odd is that after what seemed like years of computational analysis, Noose unexpectedly terminated its calculations. We learn of this through the law in the Curio Medal of Glory Blood era, but what we don't learn is why. As part of the glimpses into the beyond text, we also learn that around the same time Noose stopped providing answers, it instead started to only give you questions if and when you seek wisdom from it. These questions seem to inspire those who hear them to begin their own journey towards enlightenment. But why has Noose suddenly changed the way it functions? Did it realize something about the universe or its own purpose? Well, a couple of ideas come to mind, and like any theory video, these are nothing more than educated guesses at best. A rather interesting theory is that perhaps he has already figured it out, and it already has the answer to the mysteries of the universe and how it works. It's possible that after laboring at this task for hundreds if not thousands of years, Noose has in fact understood how everything in the universe works. The only problem is that no one else is near its level of intelligence, and thus it simply cannot explain its answer or impart it to any sentient being. This may be why Noose now instead provides questions to those who come seeking enlightenment as a way to open up the minds of as many sentient creatures as possible. Perhaps by posing these questions and allowing the smartest of the universe to ponder them and come up with their own solution, Noose is acting as a catalyst in making everyone smarter, while all the while guiding them to the ultimate truth. It might be why a computer would take such an interest in organic beings and hence selects geniuses to be part of the Genius Society. Noose has long figured out the mysteries of the universe and is now simply waiting for others to get on its level so it can finally explain what it has found. An alternative but simpler solution or possibility to this whole mystery is that perhaps Noose just doesn't have the answer and realize that it can't find one. After millennia of computations and calculations, the only truth Noose has come upon is that even with the powers taken straight from the path of erudition and its godlike intellect, it is nowhere near finding the ultimate truth. Perhaps the universe is just too complex and Noose can't figure it out and has just given up entirely. Now, this idea is highly unlikely, as if he did give up, he most probably would have lost access to the path of erudition itself. An equally hilarious possibility is that Noose realized that he can't find the answer purely because he doesn't know what the question is. Asking Noose what the answer to everything is can't be easy to interpret. I mean, what exactly do you want to know here? A philosophical explanation of why we are all here, or a scientific explanation of how the universe works? Without the right question, and more importantly, the right context, no answer could be accurately given. Maybe Noose is just experiencing what happened in the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, where an answer just isn't meaningful without the right question to accompany it. Now, the last idea involves another theory I recently proposed, the whole screen crack theory. Essentially, the idea is that the story within the current universe is already written and completed, but the main character is actively changing fate itself. If you want to understand this in a bit more detail, I would suggest checking out that video I made. It's really cracked, but let's assume for a second that this theory, or at least elements of it, are true. The main character is indeed changing an already written story. What if Noose gave up because it had already found an answer after many attempts, but then here comes this main character changing everything up? Now, every answer that Noose had found has fundamentally changed. Yeah, it's a pretty silly idea, but it's probably better to end with a funny theory rather than a serious one, right? So, in truth, we might never really know why Noose has suddenly decided to stop its millennia long computations. I personally think that it's already found a solution and it's just waiting for other people or creatures to catch up. But again, we may never know, and given that there is no mainline story related to Noose at the moment, it may be a while before we actually find out. Let me know in the comments what you think is the reason Noose has stopped its grand work. If you enjoyed the video, do consider liking and subscribing to the channel. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. As usual, have a nice day.